Right now, most people in the PulseChain ecosystem are talking about one thing, the price. And if they're not talking about the price, they're talking about when will Richard Hart live stream again. Now, though these are important questions, right? They are looking at the wrong thing. That's not the most important thing to be thinking about or looking at, right? The prices are low, they're below sacrifice rate. Now, there's an argument, is this by design or is this not by design? But that's not the core thing. The most important thing are the fundamentals. Are we moving in the right direction yet? And I think that we are. If you look at the amount of building that's happening in the space, it is huge, right? Yesterday, I made a video about how you can now buy stuff with Hex, and that you will be having integration of PulseChain, PulseX tokens as well. So you'll be able to buy in actually real world commerce stuff with the PulseChain, PulseX, Hex tokens. Now, I do agree that the number one use case for crypto is store of value. That is the use case that most people want crypto for. But these are also milestones that are extremely important. They make Hex, they make all these assets much, much more liquid. They strengthen that liquidity. And liquidity is a double-edged sword, right? When you have more liquidity, it's good because it kind of ensures that your gains are more stable. If you have lesser liquidity, you have much, much more volatility. So as you're getting those gains over time, you want liquidity to increase over time as well. Now, the numbers that I think people should be focused on, the numbers are telling me that PulseChain will most likely dominate the space. The first one has to be the amount of burns that we see, right? We see PulseChain 134 billion that has been burnt. PulseX 155 billion. Now, when it comes to burning, PulseX is really, really, really unbeatable. However, the and few numbers you need to take a look at if you're thinking about the buy and burn for PulseX and you're thinking about the burn mechanism for Pulse. The total supply for Pulse is 15 trillion. The total supply for PulseX is 21 trillion. Now, the buy and burns here, they don't just excite me because of what they do to Pulse and PulseX. They excite me about what I see as being the culture that is being created within the ecosystem. Now, I think that altcoins in the space will outperform the main tokens. That's your Pulse X. The reason is simple, right? These tokens are the most, possibly the most risk-free in the space, the least riskiest of all of them. And obviously, anytime you increase risk, you also increase the potential for gains. Now, if everyone is inspired by how Richard Hart designed his coins, if everyone is inspired by the game theory, the mechanics that drive price performance, everyone is going to be building with that in mind. And what we see with a lot of builders right now is they're definitely building with the thought, with the ideas of how do we include a buy and burn mechanism? How do we burn tokens? And this is most likely going to drive price performance moving forward. Now, I have said this before, I'm not a fan of sacrifice phases, but they're definitely still popular with hexagons. But I do think that over time, the popularity of those will reduce, and you start having projects that start off with tiny valuations and then they pump over time. So I expect that if you have a Pulse chain designed for price appreciation or with price appreciation in mind, if you have Pulse X designed with price appreciation in mind, and then you've got the whole ecosystem tokens with the same logic, I think that is massive and that will possibly cause a huge amount of attracting people into the Pulse chain ecosystem. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not important to think about other stuff like when Richard Hart's next live stream, right? Because I think this question, it keeps coming again and again and again and again and again. And some people say, well, it's not because of this, it's by design to ensure that you get the lowest prices on the assets, and then the lower the price of Pulse, the higher the upside. The lower the price of Pulse X right now, the higher the upside. And though that may be true, I think that the discount we have right now is huge, is huge, is huge, is huge, is huge. And for those who are waiting for a further dip, I say, look, good luck. It's not knowable if we're going to have a further dip. Now, if we're looking at the market cap for Pulse right now, it's 1.1 billion. That's excluding the origin address, which is most likely Richard Hart, right? That's excluding Richard Hart controlled coins. And that tells you if you look at it, right, Ethereum right now is a market cap of 200 billion. And Pulse Chain, if we are able to do what I think we will be able to do, it tells us that at a bare minimum, if Ethereum can have a 200 billion market cap in a bear market, a bare minimum 200x is very doable from where we are right now. Now, for those who are asking how much Pulse do I need, I've got to tell you this, right? I think that if you can, 100 million would be good. That's about $7,800 in today's value. In terms of PulseX, 100 million is about 3,000. So it's pretty much doable. I think that should be okay. That should be okay. And obviously, if you're a little bit more degen as well, you can go outside of these assets and start looking at what other assets as well. But right now, we don't have too many that are trading right now. We don't have too many PulseChain tokens that are trading. But for the ones we do have, I think you need to start going out on a really good hunt to see where can you find the best value for your buck. Now this is PulseShib. I've covered that a few times. The market cap tiny, 337,000. So this one, I don't think you need a lot of if you're converting crypto into fiat, so fiat into crypto, I don't think you need a lot. Like a billion is $337 only, right? So 10 billion is about 3,300. Obviously, if you buy 10 billion worth, the price will go up. You have to spend a little bit more. But I think that this is really a good one to get into. Let's take a look at PulseChain now. PulseChain right now is one, two, three, four, sixth largest blockchain right now. And this is with a very short period of time. And you can see what we are ahead of. We are ahead of ZK Sync, Avalanche, Solana, Phantom, Osmosis. I don't know what that is. Blockchains that have a really long history, a long track record, that have really strong communities. We're ahead of all of those. Now, this is the PulseChain ecosystem. You can take a look at all these other coins. You can hunt. You can go hunting, looking for where you can find the best utility if you want utility, or which one has the best potential pump if that's what you want. Now, obviously, this is increasing a level of risk. Increasing a level of risk. I wouldn't be in a rush to start looking for outs right now because there's still a small number of outs in the space completely. But they're coming day by day. They're coming day by day. There's several sacrifice phases that are going on right now. Projects that have released products out there right now. So there's a lot of stuff happening, and I think that all that can only result in one thing: number go up. Over time, I think we are going to start to see this start to materialize. So for those that are thinking that, okay, what's going on? When Richard Hart next live stream? Why is price below sacrifice? Let's start looking at the other numbers. Let's start looking at the fundamentals. Let's start looking at how much we're burning daily. Let's start looking at how many users we have on PulseChain, and is it growing or is it not? And I think that if we look at those numbers, we will be very, very happy. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. And if you agree, you disagree, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. And as usual, not financial advice.